Right to the war in Ukraine. The U.S. is promising to hold Russia accountable after Ukrainian President Zelensky's historic address to Congress, and for the first time, President Biden has called Vladimir Putin a war criminal.
New images coming in overnight of the aftermath of a residential area reportedly hit by a Russian rocket and survivors being rescued from the scene.
And Michael, that scene in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, as the fighting intensifies all around that city, with Ukrainian forces attempting counterattacks. Senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell starts us off from Kyiv. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. It's now 3 weeks since this invasion began, and it's worth reflecting on quite how much has happened in that time. More than 3 million people forced from their homes, from their country, now living as refugees in foreign lands. You've got hundreds, maybe thousands of people who've been killed. You've got towns and villages and cities now under regular Russian bombardment. And with those bakeries and theatres being targeted, those civilians who stayed behind are now in the firing line. This morning, Kyiv hit again. Firefighters rushing to extinguish the flames from a residential block reportedly hit by a Russian rocket. Shell-shocked survivors being rescued from the damaged building. And in Kyiv, near the Russian border, a market destroyed in a strike that killed 3 and injured 5. These images playing out across towns and cities as civilian areas are pummeled every day now by Russian missiles. In the besieged port city of Mariupol, the injured are rushed to one of the few remaining hospitals as the Russian bombardment intensifies. Doctors rushing to save lives, even as hospitals repeatedly come under fire. Videos posted to social media show Russian attacks on targets being used to shelter civilians, like this swimming pool complex. And in Mariupol, a theatre doubling as a mass shelter left smouldering. Regional authorities believe there were over 1,000 civilians inside the theatre. The number of casualties is still unknown. But a Ukrainian lawmaker telling us the basement is intact and people are being pulled out of the rubble alive. In this satellite photo from Monday, the word children is clearly written on the grounds in Russian on both sides of the theatre, a warning not to attack. And in the northern city of Chernihiv, customers standing in line for bread hit in another Russian attack. At least 10 people killed, according to the regional governor. But the Ukrainian military saying they've now regrouped and are counter-attacking, pushing Russian forces back from towns where they've been stuck for well over a week. And to the south, in Kherson, verified video circulating online shows Russian helicopters and military equipment destroyed after a Ukrainian strike. Vladimir Putin saying the invasion has been unfolding successfully, and then falsely claiming they're doing everything they can to avoid civilian casualties. When asked about Putin, President Biden responding sharply.
I think he is a war criminal.
Ukrainian President Zelensky appearing before the US Congress pleading for aid for his country. Zelensky sharing this heartbreaking video, switching between peaceful scenes before the war and the horror of Russia's invasion on the ground over the last 3 weeks. Zelensky, then in English, with an appeal directly to President Biden.
I wish you to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace.
Zelensky's speech applauded with a standing ovation. Today, the US stepping up its support, preparing to send an additional $800 million worth of military aid to Ukraine. But the US and NATO saying a no-fly zone will not be enacted over the country, in fears it could lead to an all-out war between Russia and NATO. In a new address overnight, Zelensky calling for more action against the Russian government, saying the world must finally officially recognise that Russia's become a terrorist state. Well, the British Ministry of Defence now releasing its battlefield assessment, saying that it thinks that the Russian offensive has now stalled on all fronts. And, of course, with the Ukrainians regrouping, counter-attacking, the hope is that the land invasion can hold where it is. But this bombardment is the main cause of destruction and death in the country, and there's no sign that that is ending.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.